We're going live for Hot for Food Takeover. I'm going to be chiming in our guest today. Our guest is Becca Strassberg. She's in Brooklyn.
Hi, Becca.
Oh my god!
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
This is so exciting. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm nervous.
Are you?
I'm not nervous to be live with you. I know you're gonna guide me, but I feel like I'm gonna mess up whatever you make me cook.
No. Well, I don't know a lot about your cooking experience, so what should we know? Like, are you a novice? Are you like kind of good or what?
So, I'm like a novice. Like I have one pot, like a couple of pans. I have like kind of one of everything. Everybody in my family is an incredible cook. My sister is in the catering business, so I've kind of just like it hasn't really inspired me to cook, but I've like kind of just grown up like watching everyone like make me amazing food. But I mean, I think we all feel this way probably, but like the pandemic has made me a lot more comfortable in the kitchen, and it's a part of the day that I really enjoy now. So yeah, I'm working on it.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, it is kind of the perfect time. That's the feedback I've been getting, is that people are using this time to kind of start learning how to cook. I think it's great because you aren't vegan, but you eat kind of vegetarian, veganish sometimes.
So I actually have a lot of allergies.
Oh.
So one of them is dairy. So I'm kind of like, I eat meat, I eat fish, but I kind of call myself like an accidental vegan. Because I just can't eat so many of the things that go along with being vegan.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're just going to get right into it. Everyone that's tuning in, this is Becca. She's my guest today for Hot for Food Takeover. And this is where I guide a guest into making what I call a recipe, which is a made up recipe. So we're not following the rules. We're not following a book. We're going off of my brain and how I kind of recipe test and develop things. And hopefully you guys learn some stuff along the way. Hopefully Becca learned some stuff along the way. And so why don't you show us what's going on in the fridge first, and we'll kind of pick out some ingredients.
Okay.
And let me know too, if there's something you've been wanting to use that you're excited to use, we can just go from that. Or if there's something you want to use up in the fridge, or, Okay. I like the more random, the better.
Okay. I just want to preface this by saying like, I'm a 28-year-old from Brooklyn who lives alone, so like
no fridge shaming. No fridge shaming. And anyone who's rude in the comments gets booted out, so don't even worry.
Okay. No, I love you guys. Please be here for me. Okay, so this is also the fullest my fridge has probably ever been.
Wow.
Okay.
Love the milk selections.
Yeah. Lots of milk, a random emergency White Claw.
Okay.
I have some good fresh blueberries. I have lots of hummus. I have some vegan cheese.
Oh, nice. Love that stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys prefer Daya or Violife, but
both are good. Violife is great. That's going to be a good one. We should use that probably.
Yeah, it's great. So I have some asparagus that is a little bit old, but other than the tips, it's still pretty good.
Okay, we should use those.
Yeah, I have some fresh Brussels sprouts. I have some great fresh kale. I have another lemon. Somewhere.
Whip out the lemon there, I see, and whip out the asparagus.
Okay.
And the cheese. And keep showing me around, but I like the starts of that.
Okay. You guys stay there. We'll take out the cheese. Smart Balance.
We might use that Smart Balance, so that's like vegan margarine, basically?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Might use that.
I like Smart Balance because it doesn't have soy in it.
Okay.
It uses palm oil, so that's a big thing. Another thing of my allergies. That's like some old aquafaba. I don't know how long it lasts.
Probably, like, how old is it? Probably, it does go rancid pretty quickly.
Okay, it's like a week old.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't use it. What's in that bowl with the foil on it?
That's old oatmeal.
Okay.
This is like some breadcrumbs. I don't really know.
Breadcrumbs. Okay, yeah, take those out for me.
These are still good. I made
Did
some
you make those?
I did, yeah.
Cool.
I was feeling adventurous. Okay, and here we have Enjoy Life chocolate chips.
Nice.
some brown rice. We have some jasmine rice somewhere.
All
We
right.
have some green beans.
How quick does that brown rice cook?
3 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay, maybe we'll do. Now, are you opposed to eating anything today? Like, did you already eat something specific yesterday? You don't want to eat it again today?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I feel like brown rice might be nice, and we can do like something with that asparagus. I like the idea of making like a seasoned breadcrumb topping with cheese for it or something.
And by the way, I already cracked a Corona.
Great. Yeah, people are asking.
Um,
That'll help with any nervousness, because we're just gonna have fun here, so it's not
leave that there.
no pressure. All
and
right.
then we've got. Do you want pantry or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw some almonds. What are those? Blue diamond almonds?
I have some almonds. I was thinking about making like a pesto at some point. I have chickpeas, black beans, corn, pasta.
Actually, it's interesting you brought up pesto. So do you have a food processor?
I do.
And do you have the makings of pesto, and you don't have any fresh herbs with you?
I don't, but I kind of just thought that like I would wing it.
Well, we could make. Do you have garlic and you have more lemon?
I have garlic. I have more lemon. Oh, I have some stuff on my countertop.
Because we could make like, I don't know if you're into this, and I've actually never done this, but I feel like it could work. Although we'll have to figure out, do you have dried spices? I'm almost thinking of doing like kale pesto.
That's kind of what I bought it for, but I don't know how. I was just
okay.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's do that then. Let's do kale pesto, and we'll just figure it out. But it's going to need a lot of garlic, a lot of lemon, olive oil. And if you have some dried herbs, maybe we can just put those in. No. None. Well, who cares? Let's just see.
Can we put in like asparagus?
I don't know why. I just want to use the cheese. The cheese, let's put in the pesto, because that's going to give it flavor. And so it won't be so bitter kale tasty. It'll be more cheesy, lemony, garlicky. Yeah, but then green from the kale.
I'm down with that.
Let's start there. We could do you have like brown rice noodles or something?
I have Trader Joe's cauliflower gnocchi.
Oh, interesting. Because we could do a pesto, and then you could just cook the gnocchi and throw that together. You can also, with the gnocchi, just cook what you're going to eat. You don't need to cook all of it.
Yeah. That's what I really like about it.
Yeah.
Well, you tell me. I'm down.
Okay, let's do that. I like that. I've never even tried those cauliflower gnocchi. Are they vegan?
They're amazing.
Or is there egg in them?
They're vegan.
Okay. So let's do those, and then you can portion out how much you're going to want to eat, but we'll make pesto for, say, so you have some leftovers, and that way you can use it a second time. You can either use it a second time, or you can even freeze it. We can't really blitz the asparagus into the pesto, so if you just wanted additional vegetables to eat, we could quickly pan fry up the good parts, and that could just go in with your gnocchi.
Yeah, I'm down.
Let's do that. I don't want you to waste those or have to throw them out.
Okay, let me put you back in my little selfie.
Yep, you arrange us. We've decided we're going to make a kale pesto from scratch, without basil, without herbs, but with kale.
They said it couldn't be done.
I think it can be done. It's just about adding flavor here. And Becca's got some BioLife mozzarella shreds, so I feel like we're going to blitz that into the pesto to make it really tasty. Always got to be a phone drop in the live cooking show. Of course. Don't even worry. I'm getting hot here. I got to get my cooking wear on, even though I'm not cooking. So the guest is Becca Strassberg, and we actually have never met in real life, but we sort of connected online. She is the senior editor at Us Weekly magazine, which, if we have any moments and breaths, we will chat a little bit about, because I think that's a cool job that you have, Becca.
Yes, thank you. This food processor was a birthday gift, which is how you know I'm getting old, I think.
Is it a mini?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really handy.
Cool.
Okay, so is your kale clean? Do you need to clean it?
I probably could clean it.
Yeah, clean it. And is it leafy kale, like the traditional kind?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so wash that up. How much are you going to do for me? You're going to do 5 leaves. In my mind, we're doing this raw. I don't know if that's what you thought. I don't think we need to cook it or steam it in advance, because I think what's going to happen is we can always heat it up with the gnocchi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay. So let's wash that. That looks about like enough, yeah. And we can do most of the stem except for the very bottom of the stem that's cut quite thick. I would get rid of that. Tear up the leaves and squish them in there. So let's see how much we can fit in a mini food processor. I kind of forget. I think what we might have to do is kind of like do some and see where we're at, and then add more. Yeah, you know your appliance, so I'll let you.
I barely know this appliance, but I'm excited to try. This is something that I've been like really, really wanting to do, but really did not know how.
Oh, well, I'm glad that this is what we're doing then. This is great.
Yeah. Trader Joe's makes an incredible kale cashew pesto.
Yeah, they have kale, cashew, pesto. Oh, yeah, so we were going to maybe use the almonds you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay, so now that the kale's in here, what should I do?
I think we can add, just to get it whirling around. So let's do your half lemon and probably a whole other half of that new lemon that you have.
Okay.
And to get them, are they quite juicy? If they're not juicy, you can roll your lemon on the counter and squish it.
Yeah.
Get it really juicy. But I'm thinking we'll start with like one whole lemon. Do you want a trick? If you have a fork, and make sure you don't get any seeds in. But I like taking a fork in the center and like going like this. It really squishes it a lot more and gets more juice out than you can get by just squeezing the outside. And then just watch the seeds. Or you could do it into a dish and then strain the seeds through your fingers as you pour it into the food processor.
I actually feel like all the seeds already went in and I already...
Oh. I feel like we've leveled up in episode 2 here by making pesto. This is good.
This is definitely a big level up for me.
Okay. So,
like,
yeah, a whole lemon juice. Save the other half and you'll basically taste it and see if you want to add more after.
Okay.
Good point. Someone's saying to soak the almonds in hot water.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, sometimes with nuts, are those almonds are probably roasted though, right?
No, they're raw.
So, do you have a kettle to boil water?
Yes, I do.
Let's boil some water and let's get them a little softer.
Okay.
I would say, and it's okay if you don't have any measuring tools, but like get out a bowl and I would take like a good handful of almonds and put them in the bowl. And then when that water boils, you'll just want to cover them with the water.
I can measure these if you want.
I'm thinking like it's about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. 1/3 of a cup.
Like I said, I have one of everything.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, great. And then we can just soak those. And I like when people are just basically suggesting stuff. So you don't have what kind of dried spices do you have? You have garlic powder or garlic salt?
I have garlic powder, yes.
Okay, we're going to do fresh garlic, but sometimes I do like layering a powdered version and a fresh version because it gives it a deeper flavor. But
I also have like Italian seasoning.
Well, that could be interesting because that'll have oregano and basil in it.
Okay, I have garlic powder, Italian seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of where.
Do you have any chili flakes?
Yes.
Yeah, do you like spice? We won't make it too spicy, but I feel like a little pinch of those could be good.
I could do like a tiny bit. I don't
Okay. Okay, you don't love spice. Well, we don't need it. It's just something I would add, but definitely don't need it.
If it's blended, I think I'm okay with that. I just don't really like a whole mouthful of it.
Now let's do, I would say like 4 garlic cloves with the skin. So make sure you peel the skin off. Because you have fresh garlic, right?
I do. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so just grab, I would say 4 cloves. And here she goes. Do you know how to smash them? Do you smash them with your knife?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really like how these look though. Like, what is that?
Oh, are they looking weird? Oh, are they molding?
Is that mold?
It could just be the skin. I would say peel that off and see what the clove looks like.
Like, this one in the bottom's really soft.
Okay. Is it something you can trim around?
Yeah, the outside ones look good.
Is it all bad?
No, but this part...
Uh-oh. Okay, get rid of that and then just make sure you don't get any of that moldy part in the pesto.
I mean, this part, that part's definitely bad. That was gross. I just cut around here and like,
okay.
This looks good now.
Okay, yeah, that looks good to me. So
But
try and find like 4 pieces that are fairly large. Oh, and did your water boil? Can you pour it on the almonds? Just have them covered. So are you still working from home?
I am working from home. We work full 8-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So I work for digital. But yeah, I mean, we have a full staff that is kind of hitting deadlines for the magazine weekly. So, I mean, there's certainly a lot of pressure right now. I'm definitely very grateful to be employed. Shout out to anyone who, you know, has been affected by, I mean, we all have been, but this is a really hard time. So, like I said, just really grateful to be employed and working and getting cool opportunities to learn how to make kale pesto.
Well, we're glad that you wanted to try this out with me. So I think, so there's enough to use, right, from your bulb?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm scarred for life, but, like, it's fine.
How does the inside of the clove, does it look okay?
Yeah. The inside looks like this. Everyone.
Yeah, that looks fine to me. Yeah. And it doesn't smell weird?
No.
Okay, we're good.
Like I said, I'm just, like, you know, a little shaken up right now.
Yeah, you're okay. So throw those in the mini food processor we're using. Do you say processor or processor?
I say processor, but I also say Florida and orange because
you're American. I'm Canadian, although I'm living in LA at the moment.
I see. I'm not just like, I don't just live here. I'm from here, so I have I can have a very thick New York accent at times.
We love it. So we've got a whole lemon. Did you put all 5 of those leaves of kale in there?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay. And we've got about 4 cloves of garlic. Do you have olive oil?
Okay.
You're going to use like 1/4 cup.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. And then you've got salt and pepper.
Yep.
So I always say a good pinch. A good pinch.
Good pinch?
That's good to start. You might add more after. And that's not sea salt, right? It's table salt?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's going to be a little saltier. So yeah, start with that. And then peppers, about same amount. And then, then your almonds, which I think need to soak a little longer.
Okay.
I want you to put can you read what's the Italian seasoning? I think it's oregano, basil, parsley, probably marjoram or something.
Oregano, yes. More marjoram, thyme, basil, rosemary, and sage.
Okay, yeah, I think we should put at least the same amount you just did for the salt. Okay. Possibly more a little bit more than what you did for the salt. This is something you can't really go overboard with.
Sure.
Maybe a little more. I feel like I saw what went in there. I feel like.
Oh, it's looking gorgeous.
Okay. Let's just blitz that so we see what's happening, and then we'll add the almonds.
I feel like, do you guys want to see them? Probably.
Well, as best you can with one hand or however you're propping it up.
Where am I?
Well, you're going to put a lid on anyway. Becca.
Really need to stop that. Okay, anyway.
You're good. Yeah, I feel like that's
Looks
good.
nice, right?
Yeah, so let's blitz it, and then we'll add the almonds in just a second. Everyone's asking how you become a guest on this. So at the moment, I'm basically hand-picking guests from my own personal wish list. And basically my publicist is also helping with people she knows. The way we cast for my YouTube series for this, we actually put out a casting call at Christmas, and I had 14, 16 people already lined up to do an in-person version of this. Becca, I was going to go to people's houses here in LA and do this.
I know.
And so I did one episode that I do have in the bank edited. I'm going to put out at the end of the month, but because of this whole thing, I haven't been able to go and do more. So I actually was hoping those people that I was going to do it in person with will still work out to be in person, but if not, I might bring them on this show. So
should I chop or grind?
Grind.
Okay.
Okay, stop there because we're still going to add almonds and it's going to get even more pulverized. So I just didn't want you to go too far with that. How do those almonds look? Like, feel one with your hand. Are they like raw? They feel a little squishy, soft, sort of?
They feel like, after you take a bath.
Yeah,
In your fingertips.
fine. Okay, so do you have something to strain that with, or can you just?
Sure do.
Yeah. Yes, Becca does have a good food processor, everybody. So this is a key. This is one of these mini Cuisinarts. It's a good tool to have if you don't have a high-powered blender like I usually use.
I don't know if my friend Ashley's watching, but Ashley got me this food processor for my birthday, and it's a great gift.
So, yeah, it's a great gift, actually, especially for people who are like moving out for the first time or like all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so strain.
So yeah, just get rid of the water in the sink and strain it out. So is there any way I can see the almonds amount in the bowl? Because
yes.
I didn't get a good look before. All right, that looks fine. I just don't want it to be too almondy. So I know I told you a certain amount, but now just like take a handful, like take 3/4 of what's there. Yeah, let's start with what's in your hand going in, and also grab a handful like that of the cheese shreds and put that in. Is that a new bag or have you used some?
I used some yesterday. I had a craving I had like half a jar of garlic tomato sauce left.
Mm-hmm.
So I made like a kind of baked ziti kind of situation.
Nice.
What I like about it though is like you really do not need a lot of it to get the flavor.
Yeah. Now everyone's asking if you're adding nutritional yeast, but I suspect Becca doesn't have nutritional yeast.
No, and I think about nutritional yeast all the time.
You need to get it.
I know, and I look for it like really often, and I can't find it. So I'm gonna keep looking.
Becca's not vegan, so that's why I didn't think she would have it. But they have it at Trader Joe's. You can order it online. It lasts forever in the cupboard, so it's good to just have. You can eat it on popcorn. You can put it in stuff like this, your sauces,
Cheese, I know. I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, blitz that up now, and let's see what happens. Now with that machine, you might have to just push the sides because I'm seeing the sides are like getting chunks and not getting mixed in. So you kind of have to push the sides down and then go again. This
looks nice. Oh my God.
Looking good? Okay.
It looks good. It smells amazing.
Great. I think you'll have to be the judge of the texture. I think you could probably go more once you combine the sides.
Yeah, I think I need to go a little more.
And is the gnocchi frozen?
Yes, but it cooked pretty quickly, which I can start doing now if you want.
And do you normally like pan fry them?
I do.
Not boil them, right? Yeah, okay. And so now Becca's going to heat up a pan so we can do some cauliflower gnocchi business. Can you show everybody? Not everyone has Trader Joe's, which is a bummer, but...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure... I don't know what cassava flour is.
No, cassava flour is fine. It's just a root vegetable. So as long as there's no eggs or egg white.
Nope, none. So these have cauliflower, cassava flour, potato starch, extra virgin olive oil, and sea salt. And they are only 140 calories per serving, which is 1 cup.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love them. I don't actually like cauliflower that much, but I happen to really like these. If anybody is curious, you can definitely just Google them. And you can also what they look like frozen. They kind of get stuck together.
Okay.
But they're great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try those. And they're probably pretty bland, so that's why we're gonna make this really tasty, full of garlic pesto for her. This is like a nice quick meal. I feel like this pesto is pretty easy for people. And if you didn't have almonds, we put raw almonds. You could definitely do cashews, because Becca was saying she also likes that Trader Joe's pesto that's kale, basil, cashew. But you could do any nut. You could do walnuts. Actually, are good for pesto. And we used almonds. You could use cashews. Am I missing a nut? I mean, you could use not that many people have pistachios, but I love pistachios, and you could use those.
Yeah. So I just fry those cauliflower gnocchi in a pan on like high heat and keep kind of tossing them. And then throw in a little Smart Balance.
Look, she's already got this, To
get them a little brown. My sister taught me how to make them. I hated them at first because I thought they were like super sticky. But I just wasn't making them right.
Now, they can probably be less sticky if you cook them a little longer than maybe you want to get them nice and brown on the outside.
Yeah.
And then
that's where I guess the Smart Balance comes in too, because they get kind of like caramelized on the outside.
Yeah. So the thing is, do you think this is something you could recreate on your own, like by eye, or would you want amounts?
I think I could recreate it by eye. I think, like, for me, I don't always have, like, I don't even know if I would buy the herbs or just, like, have them in my house. So I like the idea of, like, substituting them with just some pantry staples. Not just because I'm, like, kind of stuck in my house right now, but because that's just not really stuff that I always keep. Because I'm kind of just, like, one person, and when I am out of my house, I'm not always cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I could do it again.
Yeah, kale really works, and I think I've done like an avocado pesto, which does require the herbs, but let's just say, I don't know, guys, like let's say you didn't have any nuts or you couldn't have nuts. To add the fat, you could do the olive oil, but you could also do avocado. If you had like half of an avocado you want to use up, you could blitz that in there. Yeah. The thing with a pesto is that it needs fat, otherwise it's not very delicious. So, do you want to throw those tips of the asparagus in your meal, or do you want to not eat those?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, because I feel like you said they were about to go bad, so it's good to just take off that. You know what? Someone told me, and you can apparently just snap wherever it snaps is where the tough part ends.
Oh, yeah, I just did it.
Yeah. So see where like holding it where it snaps, and I think then that bottom part is kind of like the inedible part.
Well, I kind of like the
You like the bottoms.
I feel like the tips aren't really good anymore. They're a little mushy.
Oh, okay. Well, we're just going to have to use whatever we can use here, because the whole thing with this idea is that we're using things up and not letting things go to waste. So we're just cutting the mold off of everything today.
Okay, well, the garlic was brand new. I don't want people to think I'm gross. The garlic was brand new.
I literally do this with everything I have. I cut bad parts off all the time.
My sister just asked me if I can shout out my nephew.
He's so cute.
I don't know if he's still awake. Sam, is he still awake? She said, she's giving me cooking advice. Hold the top and bottom and then snap. Thanks, sis.
Hold the top and bottom and then snap.
Sam, is Leo still awake?
Also, everyone's saying you're normal because everyone has like food going bad in their fridge. It's like,
thank you.
And rather than throwing it out, you can definitely cut off the slimy parts and use the good parts. And the comments, yes, so he is awake apparently. So go ahead.
Hi, Leo. Leo, Aunt Becca's cooking. I love you. He's 2.5, so he watches me make coffee every morning. He loves it. He acts like I have my own cooking show and all I'm doing is making coffee.
Aw, he's adorable. You posted that you were going live with me earlier with a picture of him, and it was so adorable.
Yes. I love you, Leo. Mwah.
Everybody, we all love Leo, even though we don't know him.
Really
and it's good, so the asparagus doesn't take long to cook, because my thing with green vegetables is I don't like to overcook them. Like, they should have like still have a crispness.
Yeah. Okay, this asparagus is Wow. I feel like I feel really proud of myself that I'm like using the very end of this container.
Yeah. I mean, that's like one of my favorite things and most satisfying things is to use up the weirdest stuff that I've got lying around that I forgot about or that is going bad. I feel like it's very satisfying to just use it up and not waste it and figure out a clever way to. I also think it's good to, like, I always like figuring out clever ways to eat more vegetables. Like, I think this pesto is a really good way to eat kale. If you don't like kale or you think you don't like kale, it's like,
I like kale.
Yeah, so do I. I'm obsessed. Everyone knows that watching these, I'm obsessed with it. But if you were just like, I don't really like kale, this is a good way to like get it into, a puree where you don't really notice, but you get the healthy parts of it.
Yeah.
Look at her toss the gnocchi.
Can I throw this in here with it?
Well, it's up to you because, like you said, you don't want to overcook it. So I don't know how far your gnocchi's at.
Okay, I'll give it 2 more minutes.
Yeah, because those asparagus probably only take a couple minutes.
Okay.
But what we do need to do is you need to taste the pesto for me because
okay.
I don't get to taste it, and you get to tell me what you think and how we might need to fix it if we need to.
Okay, I feel like I need to grind it for another minute or two.
Okay.
Okay. It smells so good.
Okay. We don't get to see her reaction face.
Oh, sorry.
What's happening? Is it bitter? Is it like?
It's quite tangy.
Okay.
For my taste, I feel like it needs maybe more nuttiness.
Okay, so we didn't add enough. I wasn't sure on the almonds, so go ahead and why don't you add the rest of the almonds?
Okay.
It was hard for me to judge by like looking through the screen how much is there, but
like it just tastes like kind of really tangy, lemony to me.
Okay. Yeah, so we need to mellow it out with more fat and the nuts. Yeah. Do you think, try with just nuts. Is it garlicky enough?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And is it salty enough?
Not sure. I don't know. That's kind of like where my cooking expertise doesn't really exist.
Well, it's obviously not overly salty because you would definitely know that. And you'd be like, ugh, it's too salty. You're multitasking. This is good. Okay.
I do best when I'm like moving really, really fast. Okay, here we go. I just want to note, I know I am using the same spoon, but
you're the only one eating.
I live alone, so.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Yes, she could add more cheese. That's more up to her because I feel like I would probably add more cheese if I was making it for me, but your taste might be different.
I'm just going to do that, actually.
Yeah, I feel like, especially for pesto, it's like the more fattiness, the better.
It smells so good.
I also want to see it, but I'll let you do that, and then I want to kind of see the texture too in the food processor.
The texture is beautiful.
Cool. It's like smoothish.
It's beautiful. It's like grainy, but in a really nice way.
Yeah. Cool. Also, too, and again, it's up to you if you wanted to add the tiniest pinch of chili flakes to that.
I don't think
Nope.
so.
Yeah, it's totally up to you. That's more of a taste thing, and I would do it if I was doing it, but Becca said she's not a big spice person.
I'm just going to add like a little of this.
Cool. She's got her vegan margarine there, which is great to brown up the gnocchi.
And I also put the asparagus in there now.
Okay, yum.
Let's try not to drop my phone this time.
Yeah, don't drop it in the pan.
Okay, so let's wait till the butter melts because that kind of looks gross right now. Hold on.
Yeah, we're going to be doing Hot for Food Takeover every Tuesday live on Instagram, and then I've been downloading it and editing it and uploading it to YouTube.
I'm going to lower this flame. Okay, so here's what's happening in the pan.
Yum. So the tips of her asparagus were going bad, so we've used the edible parts that we can.
It's the middle part.
Yeah.
And then let me grind this up for like 1 second, and then I'll show you. So here's what's happening in here.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, so those are just some cheese shreds, and
Yeah.
I see some
There's
maybe
still
almonds
some
or garlic.
yeah. But it looks so yummy.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited. I've been craving pesto for a while. I'm actually
amazing.
allergic to pine nuts and walnuts and some other random things. So
there, we just did a cool modified pesto
yeah,
for you.
it's kind
I
of
don't like the taste of pine nuts anyways. Like whenever I taste that in pesto, I don't like it.
I kind of have never tasted them since
they're
like
weird.
childhood. So okay, sorry for the noise.
Here we go. It's okay.
Me too, Zoe. I'm allergic to pine nuts. I'm just gonna like keep stirring it because
Sure, yeah.
I want to like get rid of the whole nuts, but I really like the texture, and I don't want to like destroy the
you don't want to
thick texture.
If it were me, I would. We'll go one more time, but I'm like very particular, and I would probably empty it into a bowl, pick out all the chunks I want to continue blending, and put them back in the food processor.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. That's up to you. That's because I would just be looking for consistency. Oh, you can still hear me when the processor's on. I feel like too, it might be nice, and I don't know what you think about this, to do a bit of a breadcrumb on top. I mean, I would want like a garlicky breadcrumb on top.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Because you made those breadcrumbs, you might as well use them up, right?
They're like,
now,
I gotta see how old they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll know if they smell. I mean, we could always like toast them quickly in that pan too.
Yes, we can.
If they're like a little staley weird, we could still do that.
I feel like
you think you're good? Yeah.
Did someone?
I was gonna say, don't
oil?
forget to sip your beer if you need to.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about it. Yeah, I don't know about.
The thing is, oh yeah, and someone just mentioned, yeah, we put olive oil in there. Did I not mention that? You could add more oil if it wasn't, but you also kind of like the texture.
I don't think it'll get too thin, though. Do you?
I was just thinking if it needed something to move it a little more, like maybe just a small drizzle of oil.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
These look at that one. That looks.
Yeah.
All right, these are getting turned off.
And what's also with the 2 asparagus still there? Are those ones really slimy?
Yeah.
Okay, so those will have to go in the garbage, unfortunately. We've come up with a kale almond pesto that has no fresh herbs. It has Italian seasoning from her pantry. It has Violife vegan cheese. It has lemon, garlic, olive oil. And we're serving it on cauliflower gnocchi.
And asparagus.
Oh, yes. And some very just like ready to be used, almost on the outs asparagus pieces. No waste.
Like on the outs, yes.
Yeah. I feel like also maybe you want to put your phone down. That looks really good.
It does look really good.
Do you do celebrity interviews?
I do sometimes. I'm an editor, so we have an awesome team who writes, just like pumps out content all day, and then I'm there on the other end to just edit lots of typos. Yeah. Not a lot, but typos. Just, we're talking to our reporters all day. We have a great reporting team, and just kind of seeing what the celebs are up to, which, spoiler alert, is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, they're just like us.
They literally are just like us now.
Do you also taste the Italian seasoning? Like, do you get some herbiness happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is looking a lot more normal now. Okay, I'm going to taste it.
Yeah.
There's something, I guess it's just raw kale. It's just spicy.
Spicy?
Yeah. I think it's just raw kale. It's actually it's delicious.
Okay, so it's not like a bothersome taste. Because that's what I was wondering about the raw kale idea. And I wonder if now that your gnocchi and your asparagus, you took them off the heat, but I would toss it with the pesto in the pan to get it all warm together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like raw garlic can sometimes be spicy, Becca, like, which is why heating it a little will help, but.
I feel good about this.
Okay.
It
looks really cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, actually.
Okay, so yeah, do you want to like take a big spoonful and toss it? You could even keep the pan on low heat if you wanted.
I will.
I don't know, maybe can you move your stand over to the stove so we can...
Totally. Let me throw in a spoonful first.
Yeah.
I'll come back for you guys.
Okay. I like everyone chiming in. Someone said to cut the spice add a sweetness. You could, but I think it's going to mellow out when you heat it up. I don't usually add a sugar to my pesto-y stuff. Yeah, I hear a little sizzle. Now we were talking about maybe doing a breadcrumb.
Oh yeah, let me check on those.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's in that container of your breadcrumbs.
I made them last week. What was I doing? Oh, I made chickpea nuggets. Like vegan chicken nuggets, and that's why I had the leftover aquafaba.
So were you following someone's recipe?
I was. I don't remember where I got it. But it just kind of like, I was really bored with what I had in the house at the time. Sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. I was not even on the pan.
Oh yeah, we could pretty much see what was happening. That looks pretty good. It's more up to you if you want to add more or not, but I like a light coating like the way you have it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's go see about these. Ew, slimy asparagus.
And these were homemade breadcrumbs.
Yes. I'm like, what are you? I think that was just some like Italian seasoning. They feel kind of, I don't know how these are.
No?
No.
You don't want to use them?
They look a little moldy to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can't be picking through breadcrumb mold. That's not going to work. I mean, do they smell moldy? Usually you can smell bread mold.
I just like can't really tell if it's Italian seasoning or mold.
Or just a stale idea. Okay, well, it's hard for me to know when I'm not there, so I don't want to advise on this point. But if people at home happen to have some kind of breadcrumb, this is what we were saying. If we were going to use these up, we could sprinkle it on top with more garlic powder. But this is still delicious. I feel like you need to tell me, like, by tasting everything together now, like, if you needed salt. So the thing with salt is, like, everyone has a different sense for saltiness, but often if something is, you can tell when something's bland, and a little bit of salt goes a long way. Like, even just, I'm thinking you might even just need another pinch on top of that whole pan.
Okay.
Tiny pinch, just to kind of bring everything together, but only you can tell by tasting it. And I would even add, you don't have fresh ground pepper, you just have your powdered pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually like fresh ground pepper on this type of dish, but that's okay if you don't have that.
This looks so good.
It's looking good, and I think if it's all heated through and nice, I mean, you're pretty much done. Yeah, you could. I always like more oil. That's also personal preference.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, see, is that a whole almond? Whoops.
Oh my God. Excuse me. Who invited you?
Oh, yeah, they snuck through. They didn't make it.
So
I mean, they
rude.
made it. They did get destroyed in the processor.
Okay, I feel like I need to turn the heat off now.
Yeah, we don't want our asparagus getting overdone.
Okay. What am I doing? Pepper?
Well, you're pretty much done, I think, unless you wanted to add a pinch of salt just to, like, finish it up. And I can't tell unless you taste it if it's salty enough.
Okay.
You could even add olive oil or more butter in there if you wanted to just smooth things out a little. But again, it's more up to you.
I like this.
I think it looks good. There she is with her beer.
I finally remembered to drink my beer.
And how did you plate it? You got a bowl out?
Got a bowl. Here you go.
Ooh. Yum.
I'm very excited about it.
So we've got kale pesto, homemade by us, by Becca, with almonds in it, and cauliflower gnocchi from Trader Joe's with asparagus stems.
Yes. Asparagus middles.
Middles, yeah.
Okay. It's pretty awesome. I'm thinking about salt.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
A nice little final salt sprinkle is always nice.
Mm-hmm.
And pepper.
I think you're right.
Veg Focus is asking if it's your first time making pesto.
It is.
Yeah. Woo! And because Becca had so many allergies, like you said, you're allergic to pine nuts, walnuts you're allergic to?
Correct.
Yeah, so this was a good
Dairy.
And dairy. So we used non-dairy vegan cheese, obviously, and we put almonds in there for you, and kale because she had kale. She actually bought almonds and kale to make something like this, but didn't know how to make it, and then this came up, and here we are. We decided at the beginning. People could be adding more cheese to that if they wanted. They could add more salt to their liking. They could add a pinch of chili flakes to that pesto if they wanted, which I would do, but Becca didn't want to do, so that's fine. And we used Italian seasoning, which I think was a really good play for having no herbs and just using what you have, which people right now perhaps don't want to buy fresh herbs, can't get to the store, but everyone's got like, you know, Italian seasoning in the cupboard or dried oregano just to give it some kind of punchy herby thing. So, delish?
Hot.
And hot, yeah, good.
This is delicious. I, like I said, I'm not vegan, but I was a super picky eater growing up, and so I feel like I'm kind of making up for it at this stage of life. So the fact that I'm eating like an all like super veg forward meal is really exciting. It's still pretty exciting to my mom, even though I'm almost 30. So.
Anytime, I mean, obviously I'm vegan, so everything I make is veg forward, but this is why we want to do this with definitely guests who are not vegan, because it's good to show, again, it's like a sneaky way of eating more vegetables. Like we threw in those asparagus middles because that's what you had lying around, but someone could throw in broccoli, they could throw in peas. I love frozen peas. I don't know if you do, but that's like an easy thing to just have to add greens into pastas and soups and stuff. And yeah, we made the pesto with kale because kale's hardy. It actually lasts longer in the fridge than basil, so you're bound to have some. And yeah.
I have a question actually. How long do you think this kale, the pesto will last? Because I probably have like at least two more servings.
I would probably want to eat that pesto within 5 to 7 days.
Okay.
So if you don't think you're going to get to it, I would take it and freeze it, or split it into 2 portions and freeze 1 portion.
Cool. I'm excited about that.
And then that can just thaw in the fridge, like take it out in the morning and then you can use it in the evening.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I feel like I haven't gotten to like talk to you this whole time. Hey.
I know. Well, we were busy cooking, right?
I know.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you joined us and did this.
Me
and
too.
So I just actually want to know, because you're in Brooklyn, and like, what has the vibe been when you have to go to the grocery store, and like, because it's pretty serious out there, like much more serious than where I am.
Yeah. So I live in like a pretty populated area. I live in Cobble Hill, which is, to explain all of my Trader Joe's stuff, I live like 2 blocks from a Trader Joe's. I actually haven't been like since most of this started, just because the line is like, it goes, because of the social distancing and the 6 feet, the line for Trader Joe's goes at a minimum down 1 block.
Wow. Yeah.
And at like on a Saturday morning, it can go around like 3 blocks. So I mean, it's pretty busy. People are pretty respectful, you know, keeping their distance. I've gone to Key Food. I've gone to, I got most of this stuff at my local fruit store, and everything was gorgeous except for the garlic. So I just like went to my local fruit store and I spent probably $10 and I got a ton of potatoes, that beautiful kale, stuff like that. But
Cool.
I will use the pesto on a sandwich. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm going to use it on everything. I'm going to eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner until it's gone. So yeah, it's really busy. I actually haven't gone out a ton just because the blocks are really condensed and it just kind of makes me a little anxious.
Yeah.
But it's hard. You kind of just need to know what you're doing and go in and go out.
Yeah.
I would not want to go to Trader Joe's right now. It feels like too big of an endeavor.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have a pretty decent stock of stuff. I mean, you have like fruits and vegetables, and that's important, right?
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah, for sure. How long do you think that kale is going to last? Because I don't really know. I haven't bought.
Kale depends. Like, definitely keep stuff in your crisper. Like, some people don't realize that the crisper actually like reduces the humidity in the fridge and keeps things fresher for longer.
Can you explain that to me a little bit?
Well, I don't know the exact science behind it, but like definitely the vegetable and fruit crispers, like usually keeping your fruit in one and your vegetables in another one is good because I don't know, they do different things with each other. I have this like, you don't need to get one of these things, but I'm just wondering if you have like a tea towel, like if you have a damp tea towel, clean one,
Yeah.
dampen it a little bit, like not soak it, but dampen it, wring it out, and then wrap the kale in that, and then put that in the crisper.
Oh.
That might help a little bit. Was it in a plastic bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have found that the plastic bags kind of do work to keep them crisper, like as opposed to just leaving them out.
Mm-hmm.
So towel, then put it in the bag.
Okay.
And depending, like I've had kale last well over a week.
For sure. I got that kale. I got it 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it still looks. You know,
and you love kale, so you're going to use it up and you're going to put it in.
I do really like kale. Someone taught me a while ago, if you boil, like just simply boil kale, I like it better with baby kale, and mix it into mashed potatoes. It's delicious. I don't eat like mashed potatoes all that often, but it's just like a little special way, like you were talking about sneaking greens into things.
Yeah.
It's so delicious and I love it.
Yeah, I do that with spinach a lot, where I just put it in something hot and it doesn't even need to cook. It just wilts quickly.
Yeah.
And then it's in there. So that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I want to let you enjoy your dinner. So everyone's asking for the recipe for the kale pesto. There is no formal recipe, but this is definitely something from this series that I think I will take and actually develop a written recipe for and put it on my blog.
Yeah.
Because it's easy enough. I know what we did, and I think I can just quickly, figure out the amounts. Losing your gnocchi. So stay tuned to my blog because I'll post a recipe for kale pesto, and I will make it a point to try those cauliflower gnocchi because I am near Trader Joe's as well. And so that, like I was telling Becca, just portion out half, put it in a container or a jar and freeze it, and then it'll last much longer. But this was a made up recipe, and that's what we do on Hot for Food Takeover. And thank you, Becca Strassberg, for being my guest today. You were so fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, okay, well, let's stay in touch. I mean, we're on opposite sides of the country, but
heck yeah.
I hope everything goes well for you out there and stay safe.
In my pantry. Everything's open now.
Oh yeah, actually give us a good overview of your counter. I just want to see, like, is it a disaster? Did we make a huge mess? It's not bad. You've got the classic New York small apartment, and we've made the most of your space here.
Yeah, we definitely did. I'm able to cook, and it's...
Okay, cheers, Becca.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys.